Two things, not just one. I hear there's some progressives here. Are there any progressives here? I was supposed to say, hell yeah. Progressives here? Hell yeah. Progressives here? Hell yeah. Are there any liberals here too? Even more crazy. Liberal, progressive, hell yeah. So I did a test today. Pew has this test where you can figure out what you are. Conservative, moderates, liberal. I took the test, I got one wrong. I was really upset. As a professor, it's terrible to get things wrong, but I got one wrong, so I'm just a solid liberal. But here's the thing. I know, as a liberal, as a progressive, we know we're fighting for what's right. And we know that what we're fighting against is wrong. Is that what we believe? Now, all across America, there are people on the other side. And they believe they're fighting for what's right, and they believe they're fighting people who are wrong. And they define that difference between us and them. They define what most people see as America today, an incredibly divided nation. A divided nation. But the thing nobody talks about is, though we are the most divided we have been since the Civil War, we are also, as a nation, the most united we have ever been about one idea at the center of what Mike has been fighting for from the beginning of his time in politics. And that idea is this system of democracy that we were taught was the ideal, this system most of us believe has become corrupted, deeply corrupted. Across the country and in this state, too, people believe it's been corrupted because it doesn't represent people. It represents money. It doesn't represent people, it represents special interests. It doesn't represent what it's supposed to represent. It represents those who buy it. Those who pay the piper call the tune. Most Americans believe that. Now the striking thing is, not most Democrats, most Americans, 90% of Americans believe there's too much money in politics. 92% of Americans believe Congress answers the call of their funders first. And when you ask, is there any difference between Democrats and Republicans? The answer is there's no difference between us. We are united in our view that our politics has failed, and we have to find a way to fight to get it back. So, two things, not one. I'm here because I'm a progressive like Mike. I'm here with you because you're progressives like Mike. But I'm here also because Mike is one of those rare people who understands in politics not enough anymore just to be a progressive. It's not enough to simply fight for those things we know are right. It's also critical that we build a movement of both liberals and conservatives to change the way politics works. To build a politics that we can believe represents us again. To build a system where people don't roll their eyes when the politicians start talking, thinking, yeah, they're talking about helping us. What we really believe is that they're talking about helping those who fund their campaigns. I am here because he is a progressive who is fighting for reform. Now, most corporate Democrats say, you see, this common view in the middle, what that means is we've got to have moderates. Moderates. That's a mistake. What we need are people who can inspire because they say what they believe, and what they believe is principled, but who are fighting and make everybody realize they're fighting to bring about a system that can make us believe in democracy again. So I stood with Mike when he was no money Mike. My kids, they were very young at the time, I took my kids out for the very first time that they were going to go door-to-door canvassing for anybody. And they were pretty small, and they looked at him and they said, he's a giant. He's a giant. And I said, he is a giant. That's exactly right. He is a giant. Because not only can he inspire all of us as he's done, but even when he's talking to people he disagrees with, people see he is something more than just a progressive. He is a citizen fighting for a democracy again. I was with him when he was no money Mike. I will be with him on every single campaign. Now the thing you need to realize about him in this fight is that, of course, here in Massachusetts, easy to be a Democrat, right? But it's hard to be a principled politician in this state, to stand up for what you know is right, not what the party bosses tell you you must do. And so we have to be with him. Because when he is the principled politician pushing for the changes we all know we need, he's going to need us at his back. Because if they look out and they think he can push him around, and there's nothing he can do, they will push him around. They need to know that they can't push him around because we're there with him. We will back him up because we believe not just in the progressive policies he pushes, but also in the idea of democracy he would give us all back again. We are with Mike because he is a giant, as Teo said, a giant. And he will continue to inspire everyone in this district and across the state about the ideals that we all hope and dream we can bring back to democracy again. I'm standing with Mike. All of us should stand with Mike. He's a progressive and a citizen, and he will make this democracy great again. Mike. Yeah.